The cryptocurrency world is reeling after the meltdown of one of its most popular trading platforms. The exchange, FTX, filed for bankruptcy protection today as fallen crypto king Sam Bankman-Fried stepped down as CEO. CBS's Vladimir Duthier reports on this epic crypto collapse.
Tonight, a stunning crash. FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried had become one of the richest men in the world. His net worth was more than $26 billion. It's now down to zero. Along the way, FTX had enlisted high-profile investors like Tom Brady and Steph Curry.
With FTX, I have everything I need to buy, sell, and trade crypto safely.
The company had a Super Bowl ad featuring Larry David.
It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so.
Bankman-Fried graced the covers of magazines like Forbes and Fortune. He was the next big thing in the financial world. A wonderkin, now in freefall, leaving non-celebrity investors like Evan Luthra angry and stunned.
I thought it was very, very secure. I have lost almost a couple $1 million. So this was a very, very big lesson for me.
It's been a spectacular collapse for Bankman-Fried. On Monday, he posted, "FTX is fine. Assets are fine." By the end of the week, he was in full apology mode. "I effed up and should have done better."
All the withdrawals are stuck. I can't get the money out.
Bitcoin is now worth nearly $17,000. A year ago, it was almost $65,000. The fallout of crypto has reverberated all the way to the White House amid calls for greater oversight.
The most recent news further underscores these concerns and highlights why prudent regulation of cryptocurrencies is indeed needed.
An industry that had boomed, especially during the pandemic, now facing a reckoning.
Oh, no, that's gone. I'm going to say that's a loss.
It was a big surprise for William Liu, waking up this morning unable to access his cryptocurrency on the trading platform FTX.
I was just like, oh, crap. Like, oh, man, I can't withdraw any of my crypto. I'm probably not going to see any, profit from, me buying crypto.
The crypto giant filing for bankruptcy protection today. Questions were swirling over FTX's balance sheet, accused of using investor money to bet on hedge funds. This prompted a run-on-the-bank type situation where customers tried to withdraw millions, money FTX didn't have. Now users are locked out.
They can't access anything right now, so that's the most frightening part. They're just watching it go down and they can't do anything about it.
FTX was backed by some big names like Tom Brady.
You know what? I'm in.
Airing Super Bowl ads and buying the naming rights to the Miami Heat's arena.
I didn't follow Tom on that. Follow him in a lot of things, especially football.
Now 30-year-old CEO Sam Bankman-Fried has resigned, apologizing on Twitter, as the Department of Justice and other regulators, including incoming Attorney General Andrea Campbell, are vowing to investigate.
FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried was the largest donor to the Democrat Party, second to George Soros, for the spurious 2022 midterms. Nearly $40 million, which reportedly came from crypto donations to Ukraine. FTX was partnered with the World Economic Forum as one of Klaus Schwab's stakeholders. FTX's founder reportedly used a secret backdoor to steal over $1 billion from the customers of the now defunct cryptocurrency exchange. But there's more to the story than Sam Bankman-Fried and a money laundering slush fund for the failing Democrat Party. The CEO for FTX was Caroline Ellison, whose father is Glenn Ellison, head of the MIT Economics Department. Glenn Ellison hired Gary Gensler to head the cryptocurrency department at MIT in 2018. And in 2021, the Biden administration nominated Gary Gensler as the chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, who has been laser-focused on gaining control of cryptocurrency. While the SEC has been routinely combative towards cryptos, they have treated FTX like family, causing many to argue that FTX was being groomed and set up by the SEC to monopolize the crypto market.
The Journal reporting the CEO allegedly using customer money from FTX to fund risky bets at his other company, a hedge fund called Alameda.
Many people believe that this will definitely set back the crypto industry for years.
You know, this is a tale as old as time to some degree. Some young, charismatic guy in Bermuda shorts with the floppy hair charmed the 20 best investors in the world.
Rebecca, the big question here, was this a mistake by the founders or a crime?
Well, that's a question the regulators will ultimately have to answer here.
We're headlining this block with Bitcoin, which has just dropped below $17,000 per coin. There is news going on here. This is the story of the day, especially if you're in crypto. FTX, the big exchange, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The chief executive, Sam Bankman-Fried, has resigned. Susan, running into the studio with last-minute news. What do we got?
Yeah, so I was just sifting through a lot of the commentary this morning on the stunning FTX collapse. So the latest being Larry Summers, the former Treasury Secretary, calling it a possible Enron in his view. Ooh. You have other commentators saying that they feel they were duped because Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, was one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world, and he was effectively the poster child for this new asset class. Now, as for others involved here, the contagion effect, this voluntary bankruptcy filing is 130 subsidiaries, and that does include FTX International and, yes, the U.S. trading arm as well. Only Ledger X, Digital Markets, and Australia are excluded from this bankruptcy filing, but there is talk about contagion effect because FTX at its peak was worth $32 billion and Bankman-Fried himself was worth close to $20 billion. And now they need to pay back 100,000 creditors. If you look through the balance sheets, liabilities and assets are pretty much the same, $10 to $50 billion. So there's no spare cash there to pay back those that are owed. But you also have to remember that SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, was saving a lot of these crypto companies that went under this year after that Three Arrows hedge fund blow up and the Luna stablecoin blow up. And that includes BlockFi. If we can bring up that quote once again, BlockFi saying last night that they themselves were dismayed and disappointed by the news regarding FTX and Alameda, and they only found out on Twitter like everybody else. So as a result, they have now stopped withdrawals and limiting platform activity. And there's a lot of questions about that. Who's been involved here? Also, you have a lot of celebrities that are paid endorsers and some with actual equity in the company itself. If we can bring up this celebrity board for you, of course, Tom Brady, Giselle. Yep. They were two of the marquee endorsers, and they had warrants actually in FTX. We have no dollar amount in terms of how much they actually owned in the company, but Naomi Osaka was involved. Steph Curry as well was paid, and Larry David had that famous Super Bowl commercial. Also, speaking of sports, you know that Miami Arena is being sponsored by FTX. That was a 19-year deal, $135 to $180 million. You know, we did some digging, and there's a $5 million payment that is expected in the next few months to the Miami-Dade area. Now, will FTX be able to pony that up? Also, is there an arena curse? Yep. But you know, this is such a knock on cryptocurrency. There's an awful
lot of people losing an awful lot of money because they can't get their money out of crypto.
But
that's where we stand.
It really just is such a bad mark for this asset class, which a lot of people had questioned anyways, right?
Sam implemented a backdoor in the FTX bookkeeping, which let him alter his company's financial records without alerting their external auditors. That means when he transferred $10 billion of customer money to his sister company, Alameda, which he also founded, it went undetected. So early in November, CoinDesk, which is like a crypto publication, ran a report on FTX, which is headquartered in the Bahamas, and showed that basically the company was belly up. FTX had minimal liquidity because its founder had invested its customers' money in a bunch of unknown assets. Most of Alameda's assets were tied up in FTT, the funny money, so neither of Sam's companies had any liquidity. They only had fake money. Turns out the CEO of Binance decided to liquidate roughly $530 million worth of FTT around this time, which signaled FTX's customers to pull out too, and when they all did this at once, FTX saw an estimated $6 billion in withdrawals over the course of 72 hours. Which of course it couldn't fulfill because I just told you they didn't have any actual money. Back in 2019, Biden announced his presidential campaign, and just 2 weeks later, MIT graduate, early life Wikipedia tribe member, Silicon Valley's Sam Bankman-Fried, who is actually the son of Barbara Fried, who's a Stanford professor who happens to be the co-founder of Mind the Gap, a Democratic political fundraising organization based in Silicon Valley. Sam's brother, Gabe, is founder of Guarding Against Pandemics, an organization that advocates for public investments to prevent the next pandemic. And Gabe was a legislative correspondent for the U.S. House of Representatives and an advisor to large political donors in the Democratic Party. But that's not all. Aunt Linda Fried is an epidemiologist and dean at Columbia. She specializes in aging, and her husband is an expert in HIV/AIDS. They both have strong links to the World Economic Forum. You can read about them on the WEF's website. Anyway, Sam launched the FTX exchange 2 weeks after Biden announced his run for presidency. And somehow, in his late 20s, Sam became one of Biden's biggest donors. He reportedly has become the second largest donor to the Democrats right after George Soros. FTX was an overnight success and made Sam very rich. At his peak, he was reportedly worth $26 billion. And he'd even gotten celebs like Tom Brady and Giselle to promote his crypto exchange. Investment firm Sequoia Capital invested $213 million in Sam's company, only for Sam to turn around and invest $500 million in Sequoia Capital. Not only that, but FTX purchased 30% of Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge Capital. Once Biden was in office, he appointed Gary Gensler as the SEC chair. The daughter of Gary Gensler's boss at MIT, Caroline Ellison, is now the president of FTX's sister company. That's quite a web that's being woven when the SEC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission, is supposed to be protecting investors. In theory, they're supposed to be fair and not corrupt and impartial and all that. But I digress. FTX's head of ventures is Amy Wu, who used to work for the Clinton Foundation. And I'm undoubtedly going to butcher some of these names here, but it is what it is. FTX's policy and regulation head, Mark Wetchen, served as Obama's commodity futures trading commissioner. And there were reports that FTX wanted to spend over $1 billion on the Democrat Party for 2024. According to another report by CoinDesk, the Ukrainian government launched a crypto donations partnership with FTX in March of 2022. FTX was converting donations into fiat for a deposit at the National Bank of Ukraine. Aid for Ukraine was the official initiative that raised funds from the crypto community for the benefit of Ukraine's military and humanitarian needs. Quote, the Aid for Ukraine effort utilized FTX services to convert crypto funds received into fiat and send the donations to the National Bank of Ukraine, ultimately becoming the fifth largest charitable foundation assisting in the country's war effort. End quote. Let's just get all our ducks in a row here. The foreign aid that the U.S. government sent Ukraine was then put into FTX. And I just told you that the way exchanges make money is by transactions, so FTX made a ton of money from the U.S. government sending our tax dollars to Ukraine, and Ukraine partnering with FTX, which Sam Bankman-Fried then turned around and donated to the Democratic Party. For the midterms alone, Sam gave Democrats $40 million from his now bankrupt crypto exchange. And it's pretty suspicious that the downfall of FTX happened right after midterms. To summarize and make sure we have this right, you, the taxpayer, give your hard-earned money to the American government. The American government turns around and gives it to Ukraine, and Ukraine runs your donations through FTX. And then the FTX founder takes your money and gives it to the Democrats. So do you think Democrats will give back this tainted money after this whole scandal? Totally a rhetorical question, but I think it should be demanded of them. It's only fair, you know?
Can I talk to you about something?
Yeah, we talked about it. I got another 10 years left. Maybe 15.
Not that. This is big. What do you think? Are you in?
You know what? I'm in. Let's call everyone.
Hang on a minute. How dare you call this number? Okay, I'm in. Whatever.
Who's that?
That was my mom.
Hey, Donut, don't eat that.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm in.
I'm in. Hey, Arthur, I quit.
I'm in.
T-Bone, is it the downstairs toilet again?
Hello, Tom. Doggy coin? Sue, Mark.
Are you in? I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. All right, this last one might be tough.
Nah, he loves you.
Probably just getting out of the dentist.
This guy. First, even if you wanted to come back, we wouldn't take you.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, we would. You're right, we would. What's up?
I'm getting into crypto. With FTX. You in?
What Provide Inc. gives 360-degree access to the crypto markets with the ability to trade everything from alts to DeFi. I believe I'm in, but still hate you.
Understood.
Take care. Best of the family.
Is he in?
Yep.
Did he say he hates you?
He did.
Even on the phone, that guy sounds handsome.